Morning. It's Wednesday, July 22nd, and Congress and the White House and the Senate are working on an additional coronavirus relief package. And this one is going to concentrate on the efforts to help schools out and help classrooms reopen. It also has in it a payroll tax cut, which the president is seeking. Now, I don't have a problem with the schools. I don't have a problem with the money that's being spent, but I do have a problem with the payroll tax cut. Now, the president believes that if you have this payroll tax cut, then the people who are getting the benefit of the tax cut spend that additional money. But there are many people who are not getting any pay. And not going to get any payroll tax cut. So how is this wonderful tax cut going to benefit them? Huh? Nada, zero, zilch. And unfortunately, the people who are not working are probably the people who make the least amount of money in this country. Because most of the people who have what I will call a good middle-class job or a higher level job can work from home. So they're going to get relief and they're going to get a tax cut on top of that. That makes no sense to me. And I am not alone in that thinking. There are many Democrats and many Republicans who agree with my thoughts. Now, Trump doesn't see it that way. He thinks it'll stimulate the economy. But opponents believe it will do little for the millions of Americans who are unemployed. Now, Trump continues to say it's been successful and a big savings for the people. And that's probably true, but that's for the people who are working. And it's an incentive, he claims, for companies to hire their workers back and keep their workers. Well, I don't see that reasoning at all. What difference does it make to a company if the workers are getting a payroll tax? I'm going to still pay them the money. I hire a guy for $100. He has to pay a payroll tax. I still pay him the $100. If I can't afford to pay him the $100, I'm not hiring him. So that logic is very circular logic, and it really is pretty poor. Now, he also thinks that the payroll tax is very important to him. He says the payroll tax, to me, is very important. And he has suggested that he will not sign the bill, the PPP, the bill, the new relief bill, let's call it the new relief bill, unless a payroll tax is included. Well, I think, that's like holding a hostage, We're going to hold them hostage because I'm not signing. It's either my way or the highway, even if my way is the wrong way. The payroll tax is the 7.65% of tax paid by employers and employees that goes to fund the Social Security and Medicare trust funds. So I could see where a payroll tax cut would benefit employers, because if the payroll tax was cut, then their contributions to fund Social Security and Medicare would go down. And that's the real reason that it's important to Trump. Not because the employees get the tax cuts, but the employers get a tax cut also. And since they're getting a tax cut for hundreds of employees, or even 50 employees, that's a big benefit to them. Now, that's very bad thinking, because those two items, Social Security and Medicare, are under attack constantly as being welfare, which is totally untrue. And then when I take a closer look at the wording associated with this payroll tax, it's not a tax cut. It's going to be a deferral. which means that when everything gets straightened out, if you got any money in this tax cut, you will have to pay it back. So, if you're paying it back, it's like robbing Peter to pay Paul. So you give me the money now, I use it up, I spend it, and then later on I have to give it back. I don't think people would be happy about that. I mean, they might be happy right now and they might do something, but then eventually they're going to pay the piper. So being that you got people who are unemployed and are not even going to get a benefit from the payroll tax, and then the people who are employed and are going to get the benefit of the payroll tax are not getting the benefit of the payroll tax. They have to pay it back. So why give them a cut in the first place? Now, of course, there's an outside chance that the lawmakers would waive the deferral. But I don't see how they could waive the deferral when the deficit in this country is going through the roof. So if you're betting on them giving you a deferral and waiving it, you may be pissing in the wind. Unless the employers got the waiver too. If the employers get the waiver, you can bet that Donald will be in favor of that. And the $600 a week enhanced unemployment benefit, which was approved in March, may be going by the wayside too. Because people were getting $600. And that was more than they were making. So what was the incentive to continue working? We'll collect the $600 until finally they'll give up on it. Then we'll go looking for work. They want to make sure that people go to work. They don't want people staying home. And if they give them the $600, they're afraid all those people will stay home. And we're going to give tax credits. We're going to give tax credits to the businesses to incentivize businesses to bring people back to work. So if a business gets tax credits and they can use them for personal protective equipment for safe work environments, whatever, still they'll get a benefit. And also this package is probably going to include the $1,200 per person that they gave out in the first go-round. Now it's possible that the amount of the direct payments could change. And it's possible they could raise or lower income levels so that you could get certain things. All that stuff is still kind of up in the air. So I think we have to keep an eye on this, and I'll try to keep you informed on the whole thing. And that's it. I'll see you tomorrow.